So today we got something a little different. As you can tell, I'm back playing some VR today. I literally haven't posted a VR video in almost a year now, and I wanted to talk a little bit about why that is and sort of what I've learned over the last year. And the main thing that I want to talk about is why I haven't posted any VR content. And that has to do with, I hate myself a lot. I get down on myself a lot. And I have recorded multiple VR videos over the year, and I just didn't like how I looked in them. Not my performance, but literally how I looked in them. And that's really something that I wish I didn't deal with. But I wanted to make today's video about facing fears because I kind of was sitting around today getting ready for the holidays thinking, okay, I want to do this video about facing fears, but in that spirit, I need to be able to do something. So today here in this video, I'm playing VR for you guys. And it was a bit of a struggle, even while I was editing this footage together and syncing it up, like the webcam and everything. Like it genuinely did like upset me a bit. And it's tough. It really is. And I think that being able to understand that everybody has their own struggles is really important. Everybody has their own sort of impacts and struggles that they go through in their life. And one of the major things that we can do to improve how we deal with those things is challenging ourselves in going out and taking risks. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. One of my major goals for 2025 is to get in much better shape. I want to look much better on camera. I just want to feel better as well. So this was sort of like this video as like a small step for me. And it genuinely did really make me feel a strange way while I was working on this. I really felt nervous. I felt scared. And even after I recorded it and I was going to sit down to edit this, I really kind of felt like I still hate who I am. And here we are. And, you know, I couldn't be happier because it feels great to conquer a fear. It feels great to take a risk. It feels great to just like take a risk. It's one of the major things that we love as people. We love the feeling of risk. We love the feeling of reward. And nothing gives you the feeling of reward like conquering a risk, conquering a fear. These are things that are really challenging for a lot of people, but are small steps to greatness. And that's sort of what I want you to take away today, is that if there is something that you're afraid of doing today, or something that you've been putting off, or something that you've been afraid to try, go for it, motherfucker, because here I am proving you all that you can do it. And I want to hear about your guys' experience with this, because it's a little ironic, because this time last year I sort of made a video talking about taking risks and facing fears, but in that video I was mainly talking about me just trying VR in general. But here I am a year later, and I've been playing a lot of VR over the year, but like for me personally, I haven't recorded any of it, and there's been some great moments and some great games that I wish I would have recorded, but because I had that fear, I had that idea that everybody was going to make fun of me in my mind. But what it really takes is perseverance, and it really needs to be a thing that you want to chase. It needs to be something that you're willing to risk for. And for me, I literally I was sitting around and I was packing and all this great stuff, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna play some boxing. As I was getting ready, I was like, you know what, fuck it. Today is gonna be the day that I decide that I actually want to record what I do. And so that's what I did. So here we just have some pretty basic boxing for you guys. I think that it's a pretty big step for me for being able to show this to everybody, and also just having fun in VR. VR is one of the most fun experiences I've ever had. I once again, I don't really talk about it much, but me being legally blind, there's a lot of things that I haven't been able to experience in my life. And a lot of those things involve sports. And that's one great thing about VR, is that my vision is really solid in VR. So because of that, I'm able to experience things that I've never experienced. I've been able to play sports that I've never been able to play growing up because they were just too challenging. And here I am just absolutely having a blast, absolutely just loving every minute of it. And I wanted to share that with you because I don't know why, but for the longest time I had this fear that everybody was going to judge me about how I looked, about how I was performing, all these different things. But the truth is that when it comes to taking risks, right, so much of this fear is based around your mind. There's an old radio host that unfortunately passed away known as Fez, and this was a guy that was a very anxious guy, and for basically over 10 years, in the last 10 years of his career, he was constantly in fear of getting fired. He was constantly in fear of death too. And the thing is that nobody wanted to fire him. Nobody wanted to get rid of him. And he had these fears that people hated him. When they didn't, they loved him. And it's a really interesting story to me because I really feel like when you just sort of let your fears overtake your life, it destroys your life. Like literally, it's going to impact your life in such a negative light. And for a long time, that was me. I remember, I think it was in like February, I filmed a video for VR, and it was me playing zombies in VR. And I recorded it and I sat down to edit it. And I was like, this is fucking disgusting. I'm not releasing this. And that's how I felt when I recorded like 3 or 4 different VR videos. And I just today was like, fuck it. This is my goal today. You know, I just set up the camera and we said, fuck it. We are rolling. And I think that it was a lot of fun. And I think that you guys are going to like it too, because 2025 is going to be a big year for us here. It's going to be a big year for Life Advice. We're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep grinding. But then also, I really want to be able to make more multimedia content like this. I want to be able to make more of this VR content. I want to be able to make more videos that are related to gaming that you guys are going to enjoy. This year was a great year, and I'm going to make a whole dedicated video on that. But I feel like taking risks and challenges are the big thing that a lot of people talk about going into 2025. And I think facing your fears is a major risk and a major goal that you should aspire to do. I try to conquer my fears and goals all the time, but ironically, this was the one that I sat around on for a very, very long time. And here I am winning the fight, which you can't really see it, but I was pretty happy to win this one. I kind of like, I was really down on myself while recording this too. And I kind of felt like, oh, I didn't perform well, but no, look at this. I won. So, you know, I think that this is just another experience of, hey, you are doing great. And I think we have this idea that we are doing bad when we're not. And we have no evidence that we're doing bad, but we've decided to tell ourselves that we are doing bad for some reason. Alongside just like the idea that people are going to judge us for things that we are just excited about, in reality isn't a huge thing, right? And for some reason, I told myself that everybody was going to judge me for what I was creating when they're not going to. People don't really give a shit about you, is the truth. So for me, it was like, okay, I need to take a risk. I need to do something that I love and prove it to everybody that I love it. That was sort of the inspiration for today, and sort of like, I want you to do the same thing. I want you to be able to take a risk, because if you're not able to take risks, you're not going to be able to succeed. If you don't try to do something different, or if you don't try to be different, if you don't try to grow, you're not going to be able to succeed in this world. And some people don't like it when I say that, but it's kind of the truth, unfortunately. So I think that's one of the major takeaways that I want to give you today is don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to stand out. Don't be afraid to do something that other people aren't doing or telling you not to do. I want you to do those things. Take those risks and fucking change today. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, hope that you guys are doing well. I just kind of wanted to sit down and chat about this a little bit today. And, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, or you can join our Discord found in the description. We like to hang out there, chat. We like to give video suggestions, all that great stuff. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Also, don't forget to hit that like button. Anyways, have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace!